What's good, y'all? Demoralized, just got out the shower. But first, I want to say thank y'all for 100 subs. The goal was end of May. We got to like 103, I think, like literally May 31st. So that was super dope to see. You know, one of many goals. So 100, goal 1, 1,000 is the next one. Obviously, you know, 200 and up is many milestones, but 1,000's the next big goal. Been having a lot of issues with the route I'm going down. So I planned on buying cams next, but there's been so many ups and downs with what I wanted to do, or like things going on with the car, that started to shit the bed. So I'd rather fix the car, make sure it's in a good spot before I make more power and add on all these other stuff that's gonna make it run better but worse in a sense. So yeah, that's it. But for today's video, I want to go over my top 5 things to look out for, basically, or you know, things that, you know, I wish were a little bit better going into buying an S197 Mustang. So let's get into it. All right, number 1 is the wheel gap. So with the 05 through even the 14s, the wheel gap is absolutely atrocious. I have bigger tires on here that it's still on stock springs, but the wheel gap is absolutely awful, especially in the rear. I know it's the live axle compared to the independent and the new S550s, but man, the wheel gap is like, these are 275 20-inch tires in the back, and I can still fit my whole hand back here. So that's one of my things to look out for. If you do, you know, care about wheel gap, and if you're debating on S550 versus S197 and you don't want to look at the wheel gap, or, you know, buy the suspension, that's definitely something to look out for. Number 2, sticking with the outside of the car and, you know, kind of playing in part with the wheel setup, the wheel gap, would be the suspension. With, like I said in the previous clip, the live axle suspension is super bumpy. I hate going over speed bumps. It feels like it's awful. You feel every little hump and turn and everything. You roll in the body. It's not the best. You know, obviously I'm gonna do a few suspension mods to make that a little bit better, but that's number 2 to look out for. Definitely need some suspension off rip. All right, the last 3 kind of play hand in hand because they're all inside the car. So firstly, the interior, super cheap. You can actually see it chipping off right there. You probably saw that fall down there. That fell off. Plastic. These the little gauge rings are plastic, look awful. The steering wheel, I hate the little plastic covers. Everything's just plastic in here. And you know, obviously you can upgrade that as well, but it's kind of annoying. The plastic interior, everything's cheaply made and falling apart. Secondly, on the interior would be the transmission. Obviously I'm auto, sadly, don't roast me. But with these transmissions, if you do go the route of the automatic, this is the 5R 55 or something like that, and they are extremely awful transmissions, let me tell you firsthand. I've had to replace one already myself. So this guy definitely is not worth keeping if it breaks, which I wish I knew before I replaced it. Definitely go the route of like maybe a 6R80 swap, or I don't even think it's worth building, honestly, because I've even heard built trans of these break. So there's that. So transmission's awful, cheap plastic dash, which I'm probably gonna do, you know, something a little cool soon. Interior mods are coming soon. I haven't touched the inside of this thing, man. That came with the car. But yeah, this is the other thing as well, the radio. If you know, want aux, the 05 and 06, I believe, didn't come with Bluetooth, so you have to add an aftermarket head unit and radio and all that. Luckily this one came in the car when I bought it. But I think 07 is when they added Bluetooth, or 08, one of the two, don't quote me on that. I know it was one of those. But the last thing about this, at least for my opinion, which I wish I kind of knew, I kind of knew, but I didn't really think it was like a common issue, is that where you see this little white paper coming hanging down, when you get a lot of rain, especially in these body styles, what tends to happen is, for whatever reason, there's some sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, like a little area that collects water, and when too much gets collected or it gets clogged up, for whatever reason, it leaks into the cabin, and it's just a headache to deal with. Because we had a little like tornado watch a few weeks or a month ago, and we got a lot of rain, and my whole front passenger and rear seats got flooded. So that was my other thing I wish I knew going in. Like, I've seen people in the forum say, hey, you know, I had flooding and, you know, how do I fix it? But I thought it was just, you know, their type of like issue. But then I looked it up, and apparently it's a common thing for the S197. I don't know if the 10 plus have, but I know 05 to 09, it's a common thing that happens in them. All right, that's it for my top 5 things to look out for before you buy an S197 or 05 to 09 specific Mustang, because I really don't know too much on if the 10 plus have the same issues. I know the 2010 still has the same auto trans and I think same suspension parts. I'm not too sure on that. Or actually, I think all S197s have the same suspension parts, so I think they all have the same type of suspension issues. But yeah, that's my top 5 things to look out for. The car, like I said at the start of the video, has been giving me a few issues. Like, changed the spark plugs yesterday, and for whatever reason the battery went out. Like, I literally had to jump start the car twice. I haven't ran it since the jump start, so I don't know if it's gonna start again. I don't know. I planned on buying cams on Friday. I know I've been talking about it for so long, but I just want to make sure the car is running fine and everything's straight before I jump into that whole territory. So I might do small stuff first. Might do some headers and gears. But I contacted Lido. We're about to be Lido team, boys. It's just about to go crazy. But yeah, that's my list for today's video. Thank you guys once again for 100 subscribers. First of many goals to be hit. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.